Hey, so today we are at the Bangalore Berry Company, one of their farms, and we have a couple of people from the founding team.
Right.
So, maybe guys, you can introduce yourselves.
Yeah, hi, I'm Ramakrishna. Yeah, and she's Sirisha. We are totally six partners running this firm. This is the second season. Last year we started this in a small stretch, about 12,000 plants. This year we've expanded this to 3.5 lakh plants across 5 different farms around Bangalore. And the intent is to give families wholesome, fun time doing berry picking out there in the farms.
Come, let's
So that
take a walk
sure.
through your farm. You can tell us a little bit more about strawberry farming. So, first is why strawberry? What made you decide strawberry?
Strawberry is the most glamorous fruit of all, right? So typically, if it's fruit picking, uh, people wouldn't drive this far. But if it is strawberry picking, there's a glamour attached to it,
So,
and
how far is this farm from Bangalore?
it's about 40 kilometers from Hope Farm, Whitefield. So it's quite a bit of drive for people who are coming in. So what we saw is if the kids are the influencers, then the parents are willing to drive any lengths,
Okay,
and hence strawberry.
got it. There's some sunflowers as well and marigolds. What's the reason for keeping them here?
Yeah. So again, the sunflowers, strawberries. If the fruit needs to be good, the pollination needs to be really good, and we also want the pests to be kept away. So this yellow color attracts honeybees, both sunflower and marigold, which helps in the pollination of the strawberries. It also attracts pests away from the strawberry. So pest control plus better pollination. That's the intent.
So one of the things that I saw was when you guys, like people, a lot of kids came and they were plucking the strawberries and they were just eating them just like that, right? Is that safe?
Absolutely safe, and we don't use any chemical pesticides. We don't use anything that's harmful, which we are not comfortable feeding to our own families. And since this whole farm was set up with an intent to host children and their families,
Right.
so yeah, using harmful chemical pesticides just wasn't in the agenda for us.
So I also see there are some colorful. There's a
Traps,
yellow sticky sheet there,
yeah,
and then there's a blue sticky sheet there far further off as well, right?
right.
Can you tell a little bit more about those? Why are those there?
Again, this is again for pest control. The yellow color attracts certain kinds of pests, and the blue color attracts certain other kinds of pests. And there's gum, sticky gum that's laid on top of it. So the pests go stick onto it, and it's an effective way of non-chemical way of controlling these harmful pests.
Got it. So this field, what? How many plants would be there in this field?
The entire farm, the 10-acre farm has 80,000 strawberry plants, different varieties. Each patch is a different variety of strawberry.
So there are you have about 10 different varieties of strawberry.
That's right.
What are those varieties?
So we are growing Nabila, Flaminia, Winter Dawn, Murano, Camarosa, San Andreas, Sweet Sensation, Beauty, Brilliance. Did I name 10?
And so in your founding team, who are the farming experts? Who are the agriculture experts?
None of us. So none of us come from a farming background. So most of us worked in either technology, or one person worked in Otis, the elevator company. The other person was in tech sales. Yeah. So none of us
But
have.
you guys are all went to the same college?
Yeah. We
undergrad?
studied. Yes. We did engineering. 25 years
Wow.
back. We.
I can already visualize the heading of this sometime. 25-20 साल बाद.
Yeah.
But I mean, we have all heard of all of these farmers being in distress and all of this stuff. In spite of that, you guys kind of took a risk and decided to get into farming. I mean, do you like pain?
Yeah, probably that's the underlying reason, right? Yeah. We had our own suspicion, but I think COVID kind of swung it for us, because like everybody wanted to go out there in the nature, everybody became health conscious, right? So we thought there's definitely an opportunity here to build out a business.
And I think so. You invite people over to the farm. A lot of people come and pluck their own strawberries. It's a very unique experience that they get. But the other thing is also that you also do home deliveries to them as well.
Yes,
right?
yes.
In different communities in Bangalore.
That's
and at
right.
this point of time, it's just Bangalore, right?
Yes, just Bangalore, and we're not there yet in all areas of Bangalore. We want to reach out to every household in Bangalore. That's the
And this is
intent.
like your second season, right?
Yes, yes.
So tell us a little bit about the strawberry crop. I mean, how much time does it take to grow? How many fruits does a particular plant give?
Right. I may not be able to answer all of those questions because we are searching for answers for some of those questions.
Sure.
But I'll walk you through the journey. So in July, around July, we import the mother plants that come in the form of frozen bare roots. So once we plant the bare roots, the plant assumes that it's springtime and starts giving new leaves because it's been frozen and it's coming from, say, the US or Italy, right, where these bare roots are like harvested during winters. So once we plant them, they assume it's spring, new leaves start springing. Once the mother plant grows a good foliage, it start giving out flowers and runners. Since the purpose of the mother plant is to harvest more runners, more daughter plants for fruiting, what we do is we cut off the flowers. So the plant then assumes that runners is a better way of reproducing. So it stops giving more flowers. It will give more runners. Once the runners start forming, we'll fill a small cup with cocoa peat, place it at the base of the runner. The mother will keep feeding the daughter till the root system is developed. Once the plant is fully developed, we cut it off and start planting across.
So I think one is obviously it's quite. It sounds quite labor intensive.
Yes.
Right. And secondly is also, I mean, the labor needs to be trained as well, right? They should not cut off the wrong plant
Yeah.
or at the wrong time. So it's not definitely something which is hands off.
Correct.
So how much time do you spend at the farm?
All the time. In fact, so now deliveries is the time where we are staying away from the farm. We focused on logistics and other things, but throughout the year we spend most of our time at the farm. It's totally hands-on.
And there are like 2 seasons in a year, right?
So for this weather, it is just one season, but we are hoping to do a second season because Ooty and a few other places do 2 seasons. So we want to figure out this season. We want to try if we can get another harvest out of it.
Do you want to? So how old are these plants?
So these were planted in September. So now, in fact, this variety is like, this is a early variety. So now this is
almost
reaching.
kind of
Yes, kind of, yeah.
Do you want to show us what is the right way to harvest one and how to choose
Good.
one?
Sure. So yeah. So let's say we find a good strawberry.
Mhm.
So you hold the branch,
Okay.
then pinch this off, and this is like a good berry because it's good dark red, and it all through. There's no white patches.
Okay.
So you know this is fully ripened and this is going to be sweet.
Okay. And you should pluck it with at least a few leaves, right?
Yes,
so that it stays fresh.
Yes.
Okay. Good you told me because initially I started plucking left, right, and center without the leaves.
Okay.
And so once consumers take this with themselves home, should they put this in the fridge or how should they?
Yes. So we would advise to eat them as soon as possible because the way they taste fresh, the taste is not the same. In fact, we encourage them to eat as many at the farm itself. Right. But yeah, once you go back home, the key to storing strawberries is to keep them cold and dry. So maybe in a big container, line it with the tissue paper, then just 2 or 3 layers of strawberries so that they don't get squished, and the tissue paper will keep it dry. Keep it in the fridge. I think they'll be good for
What
good few
variety
days.
is this?
This is Camarosa.
Okay. So all these plants have come from different parts of the world.
Yes. So Camarosa, San Andreas, Winter Dawn, these are the US varieties. We have Italian varieties called Nabila, Flaminia, and Murano.
And so, what is this? There are these mulching sheets, right, on top of the beds. What are these for?
Right. There's an interesting story. The origin of the name strawberry. So when the berries touch the soil, they get spoiled. So they used to use straw as a way to prevent the berries from touching the soil. That's how strawberry's name came. So the straw used to be used as the mulching material to prevent. Now instead of straw, we replaced that with plastic. So this mulching sheet has multiple purposes. Of course, prevents berries from touching the soil. It also holds the moisture content intact in the beds. So it's nice, moist. It also controls temperature. So when it's hot and sunny, the beds are nice and cool. So yeah, multiple purposes that mulch serves. So we want to get away from plastic. So this season we have tried mulching with ragi straw, a patch over there. So if
Is it visible right now?
yes, yes. So if we are successful with that, yeah, we'll probably do straw mulch like the olden days.
One thing we see with mulching in farms with straw, etc., is that we always find snakes
Yeah,
amongst them.
yes. So
That's
that's the
uh,
straw mulch.
it will be interesting to see the quality of produce and
Correct, correct,
how
correct.
much inputs.
So
Do you want to share, in general, some very brief idea on what sort of nutrients do you give and how do you kind of manage this without chemicals and things like that?
right. So strawberry is a very hungry crop. You'll need to feed it a lot of nutrition for the fruits to continuously yield. Right. So we use a lot of naturally occurring substances. For example, if you want to give magnesium to the plant, we use Epsom salt. So in the beds, we used eggshell powder that will give it a good dose of calcium. So
And
on and
where
so
did
forth.
you get all of this information from?
Google.
Google. Nice, amazing.
We read a lot of research
Okay,
papers, and last season was all about trial and error, right? We with 12,000 plants, we tried a lot of things, and of course, we used local people's knowledge as well, right? Because uh, they don't grow strawberry, they grow tomatoes and all of that. But I think plant growth per se is same for all.
and they have the intuition also for,
Correct,
okay,
correct,
something is wrong with this plant now.
correct,
Okay,
correct,
this is what I think we should try. Oh,
correct,
maybe we are overwatering. I mean,
correct,
we have
correct,
seen that a lot of farmers, they can look at your crop and say it's overwatered. Doesn't
correct,
matter whether they have grown it or
correct,
not.
correct.
This is another variety.
Yeah, it's Murano.
Yes. Oh, there are some strawberry flowers here as well.
Yes.
So once you pluck some of the strawberries, that plant will continue to give more strawberries as
Yes,
well, right?
yes, yes. So if the temperatures in the night are in the teens,
Uh-huh.
new flowers will bloom, and typically from flower to ripe fruit, it takes about 4 weeks.
Okay.
So if the flowers that we see,
Mhm.
so should be good with good ripened fruit by end of March.
So,
So that's how we estimate how
right
long the
now it's
season
like
will.
beginning of March, so in about a month's time, this will be still.
Correct, correct. And we see a lot of flowering, so we are hoping this we'll get a lot of fruits till end of March. If you're lucky, longer.
And right now, are you able to sell through 100% of your produce, or is there wastage? How does it work?
There is wastage, of course, because opening the farms to farm picking uh, has its own troubles because not everyone is a trained person to harvester, and so that causes a lot of damage. You would see a lot of mulching sheet torn around.
Right.
A lot of plants
So
get
people
damaged.
step over the things,
Correct,
cross from
correct,
one bed to
correct,
another,
correct.
which kind of damages things.
So there is loss there, but that's the trade-off. We want families to know where their food is originating,
Right.
and strawberry happens to be a very interesting subject because kids will be immediately interested in it.
Right.
So
I'm sure a lot of people probably think that strawberries grow in trees as well, right?
yeah,
Like
yeah.
other berries, right? Or
Right.
maybe it's in a bush,
Correct.
for example. Hmm.
So we feel strawberry picking is a good way to introduce kids to farming and food where food originates.
So okay, so just coming back to the chemicals thing. So you guys don't use any chemicals,
We don't.
etc. at all.
We don't.
And for pest control, we saw that you have used those sticky traps, for example.
Yes,
What
yes.
else do you do for pest control?
So we use a lot of naturally occurring bacteria and fungi, which are natural pesticides, biopesticides. Right. I can like reel out a few names: Bavaria bassiana,
Right.
Bacillus thuringiensis,
Right.
so on and so forth. Neem oil, of course.
Right.
Baking soda is an excellent
So these
fungicide.
bacteria and fungi, they actually attack some of these insects and get rid of them,
Correct,
right?
correct,
Or they,
correct,
destroy their larva, for example, and
correct,
things
correct.
like that.
Exactly.
So,
Yes.
and neem oil obviously is a pest repellent, which you
Correct,
would kind of
correct,
spray so
correct.
that. So in general, you have not seen a big pest problem as such, right?
Uh, so I feel you're likely to lose part of your produce to pests. I think we should all be okay with it. If it's safe for the pests, it's safe for humans too. Right? That's the philosophy that we are operating.
Cool. Why don't you eat that strawberry? That
I
strawberry
I'd
makes me
want
sad.
you to try this because cameras, I don't think you tried.
Okay. Oh my god. Look at how red and juicy this is inside. And it's so interesting that each of the strawberry varieties kind of they have their unique nuance differences, right?
Correct, correct. The example that I keep giving to our visitors is mangoes. Mango varieties, mangoes are mangoes. The
Right.
flavor, you know the mango flavor,
Right.
but each variety has a distinct difference.
And
Strawberry is
there's
the
always
same.
the my Langra beats your Alfonso anytime.
Correct,
Right?
correct.
So,
Everybody has their pet.
own preferences and
Right.
things like so. Even strawberries are like that, which
Yeah,
is
absolutely.
very interesting because in general, when we go to supermarkets and buy strawberries, we see very little to like nobody even tells us right, what is the difference. Is that okay? There are strawberries. That's it, right? So it's interesting.
So we want to educate more people, and we want strawberries to be bought as uh, different varieties. Maybe we'll do that next season,
Right.
because a lot of people end up liking different varieties. So the same box within a family, one person says he doesn't like it, he finds it sour. Another person says it's very sweet. If you are able to sell by the variety, then every individual will know what to order, what to buy, what to eat, what they like upfront. So the
Let's keep talking
disappointment
as
will be less.
discuss. So the other thing is that like, obviously some of the strawberries might not be firm enough, but they'll be nice and ripe and juicy.
Right.
But they won't be very firm. But is there? I mean, you guys make any value-added products with those?
Yeah, so we've tied up with a few partners. For example, Jarganic, they're a jam maker, artisanal jam maker based out of Indiranagar. They do all our jams. They do some interesting jams. They've done strawberry jam with a hint of chili.
Okay.
Banana strawberry combination. So all of that, yeah. So we bring that jams and we
You can
put that
probably
out.
also make strawberry kombucha as well.
Yeah, in fact, that's the next story. So we tied up with Mountain Bee kombucha.
Mountain Brew.
Mountain Bee.
Mountain Dew, right?
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
right. Yeah, Mountain Dew has actually they keep on selling on Parmesan as well.
Oh, okay. So she did a batch for us. She's doing another batch.
Nice,
Yes. So yeah, most of our customers ended up being our partners,
Right.
and yeah, they've come up with some very interesting products.
And of course, strawberry jams is like one of the best kinds of
Correct.
jams you can have, right? And I guess people probably make their own milkshakes and ice cream.
Yes, yes, yes.
And people who are tennis fans, they would probably think of
Wimbledon.
Wimbledon,
Yeah.
and they would have some fresh cream with
Yes.
strawberry. That's actually my personal favorite combination.
Yeah,
you know?
we did it one of the weekends where I whipped some cream and we served cream with strawberry. People loved it, but it's just too much work and I'm not good at it. So
See, if
probably
people have to get in touch with you, how do they get in touch to
so,
kind of go and book a farm visit? They need to book a farm visit
yes,
prior appointment,
yes,
right? That
yes,
is
yes,
what is recommended.
yes. So we want booking because we want to manage the crowds and we want everyone to have a good experience.
Right.
So we want to know upfront how many people are visiting on a particular day. So Instagram is a good channel. So the handle is the Bangalore Berry Company. So you can get in touch with us on Instagram, or you can get in touch with us. We have a common business number. You can send a WhatsApp message to it.
I think if people search for the Bangalore Berry Company on Google, they'll find that.
They'll find that. Yes, yes, yes.
And that has WhatsApp as well.
Yes, yes.
Cool. And so there was something that you were showing us earlier in the day, where you were talking about sun-dried or vine-ripened sun-dried strawberries. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah. So what happens? The smaller berries. Typically, people who come for picking, they end up picking the bigger ones, thinking they will be the best tasting, and they leave behind smaller, longer berries, which then get sun dried naturally on the plant. So the sugar gets trapped in a small place, moisture evaporates.
Can you show us maybe some of those?
Sure, sure. And they taste amazing. They like jam. Yeah, for example, this is a naturally sun dried.
Maybe you can break open one and show us. So it's kind of a little soft but sticky and dry, and oh wow,
this
looks really nice. Cool. Okay. So okay, I think this is amazing, and I mean, I think we'll have to keep coming back here again and again. This is so cool. So till about March end or April mid, we should have harvest.
Yes.
Right. And are you planning to grow any other berries?
So there are plants. We want to grow blueberries So we are berry focused. That's why the name, the Bangalore Berry Company. We are very focused here. So but yeah, it is capital intensive and it takes a lot more work. So we are working on plans. But yeah, probably if you stay with us along the journey, we'll be able to feed you blueberries that are grown here in Bangalore locally.
Because I think most of the blueberries are now imported.
Imported,
right?
yeah.
Almost all of them. Correct. Which has a big impact in terms of food miles as well.
Correct.
Even from
Carbon footprint.
environment perspective,
Absolutely.
it's always better to buy stuff which is coming from very near you,
Absolutely.
right? Rather than something which is coming from not just one is from the environment perspective. Second is nutrition in case of
Correct.
fresh produce drops exponentially
Correct.
the more
As time
time
passes.
from harvest it has passed. So best is to come to the farm, eat it yourself.
Absolutely.
If you cannot order it, get it harvested, and you eat it within the next 10 hours from harvest, for example.
Absolutely.
Right? That's probably the best thing possible. Awesome. 1 second. Let me also join in. So okay. So I think so. This is very cool, and I mean, we should try and figure out how to get your stuff to farmers and customers as well.
Definitely.
Right? So
Yeah.
we'll figure out some way of getting farmers into the mix so that you can keep on delivering stuff to consumers.
Definitely. We're looking forward to this
So
partnership.
this is going to be awesome. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for coming.
Thanks so much for hosting.